Hi guys, Chris here, back with another video. So today I just want to do a quick video on the best way to avoid animal products. So a lot of people I see who are going vegan or who are vegan, they can sometimes struggle with the best way to avoid animal products, because the reason is that in a lot of processed foods today there are animal products, and if we're all honest, it can be quite hard sometimes to discern which products have, or which processed foods, have animal products in. So for example, a lot of different foods out there have whey protein in, which comes from baby cow milk, or casein sometimes. You can also have different things like sweets and what have you, have gelatin in, which comes from dead animal bones which have been ground up, and Lord knows what else they've done to it. And it can be very easy for us, because we're eating these processed foods, or we're eating things which we're not too sure about, to end up consuming animal products. It's not always easy to read the ingredients on the back and decipher what is what. And the first thing I would say is, if you have made that mistake in the past of having some processed foods where it does have animal products, don't beat yourself up about it. Just move on. That's the best thing to do. Everyone makes mistakes. I've done it in the past as well. So what is the easiest way then, if you're someone who perhaps keeps making mistakes or keeps struggling to avoid animal products and processed foods? The simple solution is this: whole food, plant-based diet. Now then, I pretty much eat now, I'd say 95% of my calories on average come from whole foods, the exception being when I might have, let's say, bread, a tin soup, let me see, perhaps a little bit of vegan chocolate as a treat, perhaps some kind of vegan sauce, not specifically made for vegans, but because there's no animal products, it is therefore vegan. So Uncle Ben's, they do some curries which are technically vegan, and a few other companies do, like Blue Dragon. And basically, the best way I find to avoid these animal products is to simply go whole food, because when you eat whole food plant-based, when you're eating a banana, there's no chance of there being some baby cow milk in there. Or when you're eating a kiwi, banana and strawberry smoothie which you've made yourself, there's no chance of there being pieces of dead animal flesh or chicken periods, is there? Or say if you have you make a massive pot of, let's say, potatoes, sweet corn, broccoli, leeks, carrots, etc. That's whole food. There's no animals in there, is there? Because you've prepared it yourself, and because it's whole food, you just know there's no animal products in there. And there, guys, I mean, it's quite simply the best solution. If you're struggling to identify products that don't have animal products, if you're struggling to identify which ingredients are from animals and not, if you're constantly slipping up, or if you're worried about it, the simple thing to do is to go whole food. And I know that for many of you, especially those of you who are from, let's say, perhaps America, where you do have a lot of processed food, or you're raised in that way, it can be hard. I'm not saying it's not hard, but that should be your long-term goal, I would say, if you can, and just really work at it. So let's do each meal at a time. So let's take breakfast. But you could quite simply have oatmeal. You can have my oatmeal I make, which is my own custom recipe. So I have oatmeal with turmeric, flaxseed, sultanas, just a little bit of brown sugar on top. Or you could have a banana and kiwi smoothie. So 6-7 bananas, 6 kiwis. You could have 6-7 bananas, pan of strawberries. Basically mix and match the different food you like, for dinner, or I'm trying to think, what do you call it in America, lunch, so the afternoon meal essentially, sorry. So you could have the same again, so you could have fruit again if you want to, no harm in that. I do it every now and then. I did it for quite a while actually, so you could have more fruits again. Just pick your favourite fruits, just eat them until you feel full or no longer hungry. Make sure you get your calories in. Or you could have a cooked meal. So quite often what I'll do is, the night before work, I'll actually make myself a cooked meal, which I'll then put in the fridge. Once it's cooled down, then I just warm it up again in the microwave. So often what I'll have is rice and sweet corn is a staple of that meal, or a cornerstone. And what I'll then do is I then add in different things. So turmeric is always there usually, fennel seed, and then I just add loads of different veg on top, so sweet potatoes, broccoli, leeks, sprouts, lima beans, you know, whatever I want. And that, it's really that simple. And then for tea, or my dinner, I think you call it in America, the evening meal, I would just have you know, that cooked starch meal again. So not necessarily exactly the same, but you know, the same format. So I'd have, you know, rice with sweet corn, turmeric, and then just the different vegetables that I like. And just in each and every case, eat till you feel full or no longer hungry. Don't starve yourself. And I think that's quite simply it, guys. I know I'm making it sound easier than what it is, and it's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm just trying to give you those options and let you know that, you know, I'm got to the stage now where, you know, I'm pretty much whole food, and you know, you can be as well. So yeah, and the other thing I would say is give it time as well. So if you're someone who's coming from, you know, the SAD diet, standard American diet, or paleo, or Atkins, or keto, high fat, low carb, rich in animal products, you know, these cancerous, heart disease, diabetes, death-inducing diets, it can take a while for your gut biome to adjust, about 2 weeks sometimes, 4 weeks even possibly. That's what you actually see in the Super Size Me with Morgan Spatlock. You can actually see how his gut biome was affected as he transitioned the other way to me eating meat. It's quite interesting. So give it time, and what you'll find is that your food palate will actually develop. So you'll get to the stage where you eat a carrot, you know, with a meal, and you'll be able to taste, you know, the different intricacies of the, you know, the flavor, the subtleties of it, and you'll be able to, you know, enjoy it and take pleasure in it, and you know, appreciate it. When you eat these, you know, terrible diets, and you know, I'm guilty, I've done it in the past as well, it really kind of blunts, you know, that palate, and that's one of the things I noticed is the vegetables, they become very rich in their taste. So don't think that it's a case that you have to eat boring, bland whole foods, because as time goes on, you know, 2, possibly 4 weeks at the most, depending on how bad your diet history is, or you know, your eating history, you know, within that time period, your taste buds will change and the taste of the food will improve. So I hope that was kind of useful, guys. Also remember, guys, have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. So, you know, having rice and tinned sweet corn, tinned lima beans, you know, foods like that around are really good, because say if your, you know, supermarket runs out of food because there's a blizzard or a storm, or let's say you're a tired man and you can't be bothered going to the shops, you've had a busy day or whatever, if you don't just have a chance because you've got kids, etc. You know, if you run out of fresh fruit and veg, then you've at least always got something there at home you can cook that is essentially whole food, and you can make yourself a nice healthy meal. You don't have to rely on processed foods or anything else, basically. And the other thing to look at it is, when you eat, you know, predominantly whole food, you're taking responsibility and ownership for what goes in your body, because when you eat processed foods, there's an element of trust there between you and the company you're buying those processed foods from. But you know, you've got to remember that a lot of the time their motivation is profit, not necessarily your health. So whenever you eat processed foods, you always run the risk that, you know what, there is actually some animal products in there. And you don't believe me, I mean, well, just look at the meat scandal they had a while ago. I think it was, what was it, last year, 2014. I don't know if they had this in America. They didn't have it in the Isle of Man where I'm from, but in England they had this massive scandal where horse meat was being found, and supposedly you know, beef burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. It just goes to show, you know, when it comes to money in business, there aren't morals. It doesn't work that way. There's only profit. So by going back to a whole food diet, you're just reducing the risk of contamination from all of these different things. So I hope that was useful, guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anything out. If you like the video, please like it. If you know someone who's struggling to go whole food, plant-based, vegan, perhaps share it with them. If you think it's of use to them, don't, you know, if it's not of use, then please don't feel like you have to share it. Do you have any video recommendations for me? Is there anything you want to ask me? And the other thing I'd like to say, guys, is, you know, if you're someone who needs help, I mean, I don't have all the answers, only a fool knows everything, but if you ever need help, just let me know in the comments and I'll respond to you. I mean, I respond to everyone as much as I can, and I think I'll respond to every comment usually, or have done so far. I don't think I've really missed any. So if you ever need help, just let me know. I'm here to help. I mean, I do have a full-time job, but I'm happy to come home and spend an hour or whatever, answering comments. Just ask. I'm not gonna feel hard up about it. The whole point of this channel is to help people. That's all I want to do in life. I just want to help people. I want to help people the same as I've been helped by June Ryder, by Freely, by T. Colin Campbell, by Dr. McDougall. Excuse me. What I've received, I just want to give back to people, and then some if I can. So until next time, guys, God bless. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now. So I'm just going to do a quick video on Bret the Hitman Hart. So I'm just going to read to you from ESPN. So Bret the Hitman Hart says he's fighting prostate cancer. Hi guys, Chris here, back with another video. So today I just want to do a quick video on the best way to avoid animal products. So a lot of people I see who are going vegan or who are vegan, they can sometimes struggle with the best way to avoid animal products, because the reason is that in a lot of processed foods today there are animal products, and if we're all honest, it can be quite hard sometimes to I'd say 95% of my calories on average come from whole foods, the exception being when I might have, let's say, bread, a tin soup, let me see, perhaps a little bit of vegan chocolate as a treat, perhaps some kind of vegan sauce, not specifically made for vegans, but because there's no animal products, it is therefore vegan. So uncle products, don't beat yourself up about it, just move on. That's the best thing to do. Everyone makes mistakes. I've done it in the past as well. So what is the easiest way then, if you're someone who perhaps keeps making mistakes or keeps struggling to avoid animal products and processed foods? The simple solution is this: whole food, plant-based diet. Now then, I pretty much eat now, Lord knows what else they've done to it, and it can be very easy for us, because we're eating these processed foods, or we're eating things which we're not too sure about, to end up consuming animal products. It's not always easy to read the ingredients on the back and decipher what is what. And the first thing I would say is, if you have made that mistake in the past of having some processed foods where it does have animal, you discern which products have or which processed foods, sorry, have animal products in. So for example, a lot of different foods out there have whey protein in, which comes from baby cow milk, or casein sometimes. You can also have different things like sweets and what have you, have gelatin in, which comes from dead animal bones which have been ground up and